Hey there, everybody. It's Casey, the Game Beauty, back here today with a quicker upload, a little bit shorter one, but it's one I don't think that a lot of people are quite covering as much as they could be. We're going to be making a character for Dungeons and Dragons today at level 1 using the OneD&D playtest material. Now, we know that the playtest material is probably done for the time being as the new books are coming out in April for the anniversary of Dungeons and Dragons, and it's the 10th anniversary of 5th edition. So we're going to be doing the updated and what is the most current for the Unearthed Arcana, which is the playtest material for Dungeons and Dragons. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little slide on over here to the screen cap. Hey, there it is. If you can see me, that's cool. All right, we're going to start out. Today we have Bart Smith, a level 1 barbarian. So in Dungeons and Dragons, we're having a very specific order of operations here. You want to start with basically the dice rolling, and from there you can basically go on to what we've got as our little pre-made stats here. So you can see we've got 16, 13, 14, 7, 9, 11. I pre-rolled these stats just so I didn't have to do them on screen, but the way I used the method was 4d6 and dropped the lowest. So I rolled 4d6 and say I got 4, a 6, a 6, 4, and a 2. So we would drop the 2, add the 6, 6, and 4, which would get us 16, which we got for strength. Other things would be like a 5, 5, 6, and a 2, any combination of that. We did it 6 times to get all of our stats. We put those in there, just so we can make it a little bit more simplified. But beyond that, we're going to jump right into, as there's 2 different sets of playtests for this. The first one is from the earliest one being 2022, where we got our character and races and the background changes and all that type of stuff. One of the big changes is that we're going to be getting our ability score increases from our backgrounds now, rather than our races. So we're going to start off nice and simple. We're going to go with a barbarian level 1. Well, what does that get us? Let's take a quick peek over here. Let's make sure we can see what we're doing. There we go. So right here we've got a big old bunch of stuff. If you look at hit points right here, that's where we're going to start. So as a level 1 barbarian, hit points at level 1 are 12 plus our constitution modifier. So if we jump back over to our sheet here, our hit point maximum currently is 12 plus our constitution modifier currently is 14. So we're going to go, which is a +2. So currently our HP is going to be 14. Oof, that's nice. We like to see it. Okay. Next up, we'll go back to our PowerPoint here. We have our proficiencies. So these are things that we're going to add our proficiency bonus to, meaning we're good at these things. We should be a little bit better than just whatever our normal ability would be. So we get strength and constitution. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? There you are. Strength and constitution. So we're going to click this dot here. We're going to click this dot here. That way we know we got those. Our proficiency bonus at level 1 is a +2. So basically what this means is anytime we roll one of these saving throws right here, we're going to add a number to it, whatever our modifier is. If we're proficient, it means we get to add this +2 as well. Some people like to add it in before and have a total for like a +6 or whatever. Some people like to just have the dot and say +3, +2, your personal preference. I like to do the total number here so I don't have to add multiple numbers more than the first time. Beyond that, we're going to go next to our PowerPoint here. We get to choose 2 from this list of animal handling, athletics, intimidation, nature, perception, and survival. I'm going to choose athletics and perception because I'm a barbarian and I like to see stuff and I like to be able to tackle things better. So we're going to come up here. We're going to click on athletics and perception. So we've got those. Same thing as up here. We just haven't filled these bubbles in yet. And there's a reason for that. Next up, we're going to go back to our PowerPoint here. We get simple weapons and martial weapons. So let's come back to this guy, come down here, other proficiencies and languages right here in this box. We're gonna do armor, simple, oh whoops, excuse me, not armor, duh. We're gonna do weapons, simple / martial, enter. And then next up was armor, I believe. So we'll take a quick peek back at our PowerPoint here. Armor training, light, medium, and shields too, which is very important for our ability here. Shields, light, and medium. Okay, we're gonna go down to that next line here. All right, so our starting equipment. It's our next little feature here. As a level 1 character, you start with the following equipment, or you can forego it and spend 75 GP on equipment of your choice, meaning that you could start out with just a little bit different variants of like weapons or something like that. You get a choice for the Explorer's Pack, and then either a Great Axe or a Battle Axe and a Shield. Again, shield's important here, and 10 GP. We're gonna go, since we're a barbarian, we're gonna go Great Axe. We're just gonna take the two-handed one. So let's come over here to our character sheet, and in our equipment, we're gonna put Great Axe. And we're gonna put it right up here too, since it's our attack, if I can spell. All right, that's a good one. What else do we get here? So we chose that, so we don't get B. We also get an Explorer's Pack, which is pretty nifty. There's some good stuff in there. That's not what we're worried about right now. Explorer's Pack has like pythons, torches, rope, all sorts of good stuff like that. Okay, and what else do we get? We get 4 hand axes and 15 GP. So, not bad. Not bad. Bring it back up here. So we're gonna go, just type up here, hand axe. We're gonna go enter hand axe. We're gonna put in parentheses a little ×4 here. Then we'll put hand axe ×4 there. Okay, so an attack bonus for these weapons. Since Great Axe is heavy, it means we have to use strength for it. So our attack bonus, since we're proficient, will be our strength, which here is a +3 currently. And we'll change all these here in a minute, I believe, when we get something. So +3 and +2 is going to be a +5 currently. Hand axes are thrown, so those use our dexterity, which is a 13, is a +1 currently. So that is going to be a +3 on this. Our damage is going to be 1d12 plus 3 for our strength. And then our hand axe is going to be 1d6 plus 1 for our dexterity. So that's just simple, easy stuff. We'll look at that here in a second and a little bit more of it. Next up, a level 1 feature we get is unarmored defense. So we're going to come over right here. We're going to go unarmored defense. We'll read about that here in just a second. While you aren't wearing any armor, your base armor class equals 10 plus your dexterity and constitution modifiers. You can use a shield and still gain these benefits, or this benefit. So what that means is we come back over to our sheet here, and this shield right here. Our armor class is 10 plus our dexterity plus our constitution modifier. So currently that is 13. Now, had we taken the battle axe and the shield, we would have gotten a +2 here from the shield, but we're not doing that. So we're not going to worry about it. Next up, we're going to look at weapon mastery. Your training with weapons allows you to use the martial or the mastery property of 2 kinds of simple or martial melee weapons, such as a great axe and a hand axe. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can practice weapon drills and change one of these weapon choices. So, since we're proficient with all martial and simple weapons, in theory, should we find a new weapon, we can practice when we first wake up from our long rest and change our mastery to that weapon that we choose. Right now, we're going to go with the hand axe and the great axe, and we'll come back to that in a minute, but we want to make sure that we type it in here so we don't forget. Armor defense, weapon mastery. I like to put under here hand axe and great axe, just so we remember, and then we'll put next to them what their mastery properties are when we get there. After that, we come back over here to our level 1 rage, and this is the big barbarian class feature. So we're gonna go like this. We're gonna come back over to our info, and we're gonna go rage. So, bunch of text, but it's very important. You can imbue yourself with a primal power that is called your rage, a force that grants you extraordinary might and resilience. You can enter it as a bonus action, and you aren't wearing heavy armor, so you can't rage and be in like plate armor or anything. While you rage, you get the following benefits. You have resistance to all bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing, not just non-magical, so that's important. So we're going to come back over here to our character sheet, and we're going to go resistance to bludge slash pierce. Oops, P-I-E-R-C. There we go. Okay, we're going to do this guy. Come back over here. Next, when you make an attack with a weapon using strength or an unarmed strike and deal damage to the target, you gain a bonus to damage that increases as you gain levels as a barbarian, as shown in the rage damage column of the barbarian table. So, at level 1, that's a +2. We just know that. So, we're going to go rage damage equals +2 currently. So that means that on top of this, we can go +2 here and +2 here. And we can put a little asterisk, because I like to know where my stuff is coming from. So we can put this right next to this and put the asterisk right there. We'll put it on the end so we know it's a little bit closer. Okay. What else do we get here? You have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws while raging. So strength advantage, that's a very important one. It means if we want to... Oops. If we want to... Advantage. I cannot spell. Advantage. There we go. It means if we want to grapple people, if we want to shove people, if we want to make, you know, any type of checks like that. If somebody tries to shove us or make us do a check or like shove us with a spell or some like thunderous wave or something that makes us, you know, get shoved back, we get advantage on it. So we're going to do that there. We're just going to put strength advantage because we know what that means. Next up, no concentration on spells. Very important. You cannot concentrate. Whoops, there we go. Very important. No concentration on spells. There we go. And oops, we didn't put this in our little dot here. Come on, let me up there. There we go. Strength advantage, and then no spells or concentration. Okay. So, now that we got that, we're going to go scroll down just a smidge. Go back over here. Lasts until the end of our next turn. It ends early if we don heavy armor or if we have incapacitated conditions. Your rage is still active on your next turn, and you can extend it for more than one round by doing one of the following things. Making an attack roll, we like to do. Forcing an enemy to make a saving throw, like shoving them or something like that. Or taking a bonus action so we can just keep extending our rage if we want to. Each time your rage is extended, it lasts up until 10 minutes. The last till your next turn, you can keep doing it for up to 10 minutes. You can enter your rage a number of times shown for a barbarian level, which again, equal to your rage damage usually is how it maxes with it, but it kind of gets a little screwy towards higher end stuff. But we're going to go base 2 again there. So we're going to go back to this guy, and we're going to go rage 2 per long / short. Oops. Best. Pretty sure. Let's take a look again real quick. You regain 1 expended use when you finish a short rest, and you regain all when you expended a long rest. So we can go back to our here. 2 per long rest. Regain 1 per short rest. Boop. There we go. Make sure that guy's capital, just so we have everything uniform. Okay. Back over to here. So, that's the big important stuff for Barbarian. Next up, we're going to go to our next slide, which is, what about our race? Well, we're going to keep it simple, because I like to do that. Not everybody does. We're going to be a human farmer specifically, as you can see right up here on this area. So, as a human, we get the obvious tag of creature type humanoid for all of the hold persons, dominate persons, blah, 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 blah. So we're going to come back up here. Very top. Race. We are a human. And our background is a farmer. Our alignment, we're going to be chaotic. Good. Because backstory. We'll get there in a minute. Okay, back to this guy. Our size, we can choose medium or small, so you can be a normal sized person or a small sized person if you'd like. About 4 to 7 or 2 to 4 feet. We're going to be average height, same as me. 6 foot. Well, that's not average height. But we're going to come down here to this next one. We're just going to go 6 foot even. Boop. We're going to be 30 years old. We're going to be 200 pounds. Hazel eyes, because I feel like being cool. Plain skin, don't care, and brown hair. Plain skin meaning you can color it whatever color you might be or might want to be. Okay, so we got that. Let's come back up here. Our lifespan's 80 years, so we're 30. We're within that. We're good. We're not making a dead character. Resourceful. You gain inspiration. Oop, I cut that off. Whenever you finish a long rest. So that means we come back over here. We have a little box that says inspiration. We're going to do a little check mark that says, oh, I guess we can't do that. That's okay. We'll put it here. Human features. Inspiration. There we go. Every long rest. Cool. That's good. Let's come back over here. What else do we get? Skillful. You gain 1 proficiency in a skill of our choice. So let's come back over to our guy here. We're going to take an additional 1 in stealth because we can. Then we're going to come over here. What else do we get? We gain the skill feat or another first level feat of our choice. So that means that we can choose from a list of feats that are exceptionally long. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. For ease of access, we're going to take the Savage Attacker feat, and we'll come back to that in a second. So, whoops, we're going to go, here we go. We're going to take level 1 feat, Savage Attacker. That'll come in handy later. Okay, and +1 skill. Okay, so enter. All right, so we're doing pretty good there. Oops, let's come back up here. Do dash and do. That's fine there. Proficiency. There we go. Enter. Okay. So, as a human, that's what we currently get there. Any given world, humans, blah, 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 blah. Humans are everywhere. Background. Farmer says we get a +2 to our constitution and a +1 to our wisdom stats. So we'll come back over here. So our wisdom then becomes a 10, which is really nice. So that gives us a 0. And our constitution becomes a 16, which gives us a +3, which also increases our maximum hit points, whoops, up to 15, because we get that extra +1 there. Very important later on. Our hit dice, we did not mention earlier, but we get 1d12 per level. So we're just going to put 1d12 currently. All right. After that, we get skill proficiencies in animal handling and nature. How nice. We like that. Animal handling and where we got nature. Alphabetical order. Why didn't I do that? Duh. So, after we do that, what else do we get? Tool proficiency in carpenter's tools. So we can come back here, back to our proficiencies in other languages. Tools. Carpenter. Tools. And we saw languages right below there, I believe. We'll check. Languages. Halfling. So as a human, we get common as a human. That's it. So we speak common and halfling. Okay, easy peasies. All right, what else do we get? And we get the tough feat. So this tough feat we'll go over here in just a second, but we're gonna put it on our list right here. And farmer background equals tough feat. Okay, come back up here. So now, along with that, we also get some more equipment. We get the carpenter's tools, which we can have. We get a healer's kit, which is nice. Let's come back over here. Let's go carpenter's tools. We get a healer's kit. What else did it say we get here? Bunch of goodies. We get a sickle, an iron pot, and a shovel. Get sickle / iron pot / shovel. And then traveler's clothes and 23 GP. We also got 15 GP up there, so we'll be at 38 gold pieces to start with. Not bad for a farmer life. And then we get traveler's clothes. There we go. There's all our equipment, right? Double check. Traveler's clothes, sickles, blah, blah, blah. Yep, cool. So, now that we've got that, easy done. Next up, we get to look at these feats that we talked about earlier. The Savage Attacker and Tough Feat. Come down here. As you can see right here, Savage Attacker, our level 1 feat. You have trained to deal particularly damaging strikes. When you take the attack action and hit a target with a weapon, as part of that action, you can roll the damage twice and use either roll against the target once per turn. Meaning, with our D12, when we hit somebody with it, with our great axe, we can roll 2 D12 and take the higher number once per turn, which is very strong, very strong. So, we're going to come back over here. We got our Savage Attacker feat already wrote in, right? Savage Attacker right there. So, that's very important to remember. We'll put this down here and we'll go Savage Attacker. Advantage. So, we'll go 1 per turn on that. There we go. Okay, and then our tough feat that we got from our background for being a farmer. Your hit point maximum increases by an amount equal to twice your character level when you gain this feat, and whenever you gain a level thereafter, you get an additional 2 HP. So that means we get to come back over to here, and our maximum HP becomes 17 at level 1. How crazy is that? That's so weird. That's so out of whack. But it's good to have, good to have. Now, we also were talking about our weapon masteries, which is the last thing, or one of the last things we're going to do. We took a great axe, which deals 1d12 slashing and requires 2 hands. It has the cleave mastery property. This specific thing is only available to characters like marshals and or taking feats to do it in OneD&D. This is a new thing in OneD&D, kind of gives you more customization for your weapons. With the Great Axe, we get Cleave, which says if you hit a creature with a melee attack using this weapon, you can make an attack roll with the weapon against a second creature within 5 feet. If it hits and it's within your reach, they take the weapon's damage minus the ability modifier, and you can, unless it's negative, you subtract 1. And you can do that once per turn as kind of an extra attack. So we're going to put over here on our character sheet. We're going to come back up here and we're going to go Cleave. We're going to go actually Weapon Mastery Property. Cleave once per turn. Okay, and then we're going to come back over here. We took hand axes, which are light and thrown, so we can throw those guys. Vex is what they have. Vex says if you hit a creature with this weapon and deal damage, you have advantage on your next attack roll against that creature before the end of your next turn. So the important part of this is that there are things called opportunity attacks that say when something is moving away from you, you can try and hit it. Take one of these hand axe, slap them with the hand axe, you have advantage on your next attack roll till the end of your next turn. Meaning when it comes back, you can go make that two-handed attack, wham, with advantage. Very good combination. Later on at level 5, when we get extra attack, it means we can throw something and get advantage on this for extra funsies. But we're going to put Vex just to have on there. There you are. And then Vex. Okay. WMP. Vex. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Now, that is the end of our character. Mostly. We have a bunch of good stuff here. We're going to type all these guys in. So we have strength, so we're going to get a +5. Our dexterity is a +1. Oh, our constitution is a +5, which means this is actually gets to be a +14 now, because we went up here. So this is 10 + 4 now for our unarmored defense. Intelligence. Ooh, intelligence is a -2. Charisma is a 0. So intelligence is a -2, 0, and 0. This guy is a +1. Animal handling, our wisdom is 0, but we get proficiency, so it's +2. We get a -2 to Arcana, but we get +5. We get a 0. We get a -2. We're just going to fill these guys in real quick. Inside, wisdom is a 0. Charisma is a 0. Int is a -2. So what's important here, what I'm doing is saying int and stuff. Right here along the edge, this tells you what stat it corresponds with over here. So this is the modifier we're using. Then if we have one of these bubbles filled in like this, that means we can add our proficiency to it. Like this, sorry. Medicine is a 0. Nature int, -2, but we're proficient, so +2 for a net 0. +2 on our perception, because we have proficiency. 0, a 0, a -2 on religion. +1 on dex. +3 on stealth, because we're proficient. And a 0 on survival. Okay. Not bad, not a bad spread. Our passive wisdom is 10 plus our perception, which is +2, so we get a passive perception of 12 this time. Beautiful. That can go up, that can get really, really, really crazy. Initiative, it will always be your dexterity modifier, so +1. And then our speed as a human was 30 feet. I think I skipped that earlier, but it's okay. Alrighty, so what we're gonna do, one last little thing here, is we're gonna put backstory. Okay, so I've got a very specific, I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna copy and paste real quick, because I put copy, and then come down here, we're gonna go paste. Part 1, and oh, nope, that's all of it. He snapped into a rage and has been on the run ever since he killed a group of empirical soldiers for taking his cattle. Bam. Now, there are a bunch of things that you can add to this. This whole last page we don't even need because we're not even being a spellcaster. But what I'll do is I will put like this. We'll go file, download with your changes. We're going to put it into our portable drive here, YouTube, recordings, OneDnD, and we're going to put it right there. We're going to do Bart Smith. Save. Okay. So what I'll do is when I upload this video, I will put the character sheet as a upload or as a download in the description of the video. So if you want, you can take this character as is right now, print him out, take him to your next game at level 1. This is a OneD&D, so make sure your DM's okay with it. But otherwise, we got ourselves a level 1 character. Simple enough. You can have some fun and go play. Well, that'll be the end of it for us. Let's switch back over here to my face cam. Say a proper goodbye. All right. Well, thanks for sitting around with me, everybody. Hopefully it wasn't too boring and you learned a little something. Maybe you can get yourself into some Dungeons and Dragons. But either way, I'm Casey, the Game QT, and at the end of the day, we'll always be here. Bye-bye, everybody.